On this episode of Sportsman Environmentalist, we head deep into the Davis Mountains of West Texas to hunt the elusive mountain lion. Joining us on this trip is my good friend Jim Darsey from Nucor Steel, Texas, who's going to talk to us about the many benefits of recycling.
The recycling steel has put a dent in East Texas shrubbery.
Join us as we saddle up for our 3-day mountain lion hunt on Sportsman Environmentalist.
He is an environmental attorney who has worked with top-ranking government officials, has addressed global ecological issues around the world, is a practicing black belt, former Army JAG with Special Ops, and has hunted dangerous game across the globe. Tom Mullican, the Sportsman Environmentalist, is now going to teach us how to protect the environment while enjoying the outdoors.
Previously on Sportsman Environmentalist, we traveled to Namibia, Africa, on an exciting plains game hunt for the prized African kudu. Once there, we learned about the fragile Namibian environment and about how we can make sure great outdoor opportunities exist for generations to come through responsible game management and the increased use of clean and abundant solar energy. Imagine what we could do in the United States if we were to implement solar energy on a wider basis. I go ahead and tell you right now, Boudreaux's a much better shot than I am. He can stalk better than I can. He can track better than I can. He can skin better than I can. But he cannot reload as fast as I can. As we travel back to the States, it makes you appreciate the efforts being made all around the world to preserve our environment. And in Texas, we will talk about how some companies and how you can use recycling to make sure sportsmen everywhere can keep enjoying the outdoors. I'm Tom Mullican, the Sportsman Environmentalist, and here we are on the Sproul Ranch in Davis County, here in the Davis Mountains. I've wanted to go mountain lion hunting since I first heard old Jerry Clower talk about getting up in that tree with that souped up bobcat. And here we are chasing that old souped up bobcat right up in these Davis Mountains. The mountain lion is also known in various parts of North and South America as a cougar, catamount, panther, and puma. Comes in various shades, although most often in a tan colored. The mountain lion runs from the northern British Columbia all the way down to Argentina and Brazil. Here in Texas, it is the famed and elusive mountain lion. We're going to talk to you a little bit about hunting, and we're going to talk to you a little bit about energy and environmental issues. It's important that you understand that what protects this heritage, what protects our right to have proper game management and fair chase hunts, are a lot of the same things that impact your everyday life, like energy consumption and energy use. What are we going to do to have greater energy independence? Now you might say, what does energy independence have to do with my hunting? Well, I'd tell you it has everything to do with your hunting. We need to be concerned about greater and a better and more efficient use of solar energy. And believe you me, when you're out here in Texas in the middle of a hot afternoon, you understand about the power of solar energy out here. We can make better use of recycling. Jim Darsey's the largest recycler in Texas, and his company is the largest recycler in the world. They have made recycling a business, and so can you. We can recycle better in our households. We can recycle our solid waste, our garbage, our cans, our plastics, and our glass, and we can harvest that energy that's in those discarded goods to help us create greater energy independence. Coming up on Sportsman Environmentalist, you will see a hunt like you've never seen.
Hello, I'm Dan D'Amico, Chairman and CEO of Nucor Steel, the largest steel producer and recycler in the country. We are a proud provider of manufacturing jobs throughout the country. Because of unbalanced and unfair trade policy, many of our nation's manufacturing jobs are being shipped overseas. Their unregulated manufacturing is creating a horrendous impact on our environment. It's time that we all call for a change and secure our jobs, our environment, and our future. I invite you to log on to nucor.com and americaforsale.net. Thank you.
Welcome back here to the H.E. Sproul Ranch in the Davis Mountains, West Texas, Jefferson Davis County. We had one ever more exciting mountain lion hunt today, and we're going to tell you all about it. First day of a 3-day hunt out here with some of the most famous mountain lion hunters in all of the great state of Texas. Here, I'm proud to introduce you to a few friends of mine. H.E. Sproul Ranch owner and hunting guide, Tony Timmons. The living legend and the one and only Henry McIntyre. And one of Texas's largest recyclers, Jim Darsey. How many mountain lion hunts do you hunt a year?
It varies. Henry and I, we try to take hunters as many as we can kind of fit in the schedule, but because of the amount of animals that we hunt and schedules and that sort of thing, we can only fit in so many hunts a year. But usually Henry and I try to start hunting lions 1st of October, and we'll run them up usually till middle part of April. And the neat thing about what Henry and I do is we don't commercialize a lot of what we do. You know, you won't see us, necessarily on commercials and that sort of thing, but at the same time, our stuff is purely recommendations. And we think that's the greatest word out there. And we don't have a hunter one that won't come in and hunt our operation and stack it up against the one top 2 or 3 that they've ever been, no matter where they've been around the world. So that's pretty special for guys like Henry and I to put together that kind of hunt and that kind of quality hunt and still offer that opportunity right here in the state of Texas that most people don't even know exists.
I hunt, upward towards 280 days a year. And until recently here, I've been averaging catching about 20 lions a year. I've caught a lot of lions out of this country in the last 20 years. They just keep coming. I don't know where they're coming from.
Well, Jim Darsey, I understand you're a 5th-generation Texan from over there in Houston County. What do you think about this part of Texas?
I love this part of Texas. I've driven by the Davis Mountains for years, seen them from Interstate 10. Driving out west, and I always would look over and say, those are some nice hills over there. Well, being here at the Sproul Ranch in the heart of the Davis Mountains, these are some real mountains, folks. We saw ponderosa pines this morning that were 200 foot tall in Hell's Canyon.
I understand you're one of the largest recyclers in all of Texas. What do you do to help protect this beautiful environment?
What we do to help protect this beautiful environment is we recycle the equivalent of 1.5 million junk cars a year, melt them down in a very energy efficient, environmentally protective electric arc furnace, and recycle them into new steel.
That's a lot of cars even for Texas, isn't it?
A lot of cars for Texas. A lot of cars.
Today we went through up Frazier Canyon, which is one of the biggest and longest canyons in the state of Texas. We took Frazier, took a road that put us on top of what we call Deer Ridge on a big flat, and that dropped us in the backside of what we call Hell's Canyon. Y'all got a good glimpse of why it was called Hell's Canyon. Henry and I have caught and started a lot of lions in Hell's Canyon, so that's always a good place to start the hunt. We, darn sure want to go to our hot spots first, and anytime we basically turn the horses out on this ranch, we're lion hunting. The thing we want to do with a lion hunt is always try to make circles. Sometimes we can't do that, but most of the time we want to make a circle so we're never stepping on the same track. That means we always have a chance all the way back to the truck to start a good lion track. And so that's the important thing. So tomorrow we'll take another route, and if we don't catch tomorrow, on the 3rd day we'll take a different route. So we're taking 3 different loops, in chance of crossing the track.
Really just a beautiful ride. The horses did well, responded well to the game trail on the side of the bluffs coming up. We'll probably spend another 3 or 4 hours on the horses today out here looking for that mountain lion. They must have heard we were in town and headed for Mexico.
This morning we took off, went up what we call Spring Road, and trailed up high. Yesterday we kind of took some bottom canyons through Hell's Canyon and worked a lot of bottom canyons. Today we were trying to work kind of up high. What we're trying to look for basically is that line to cross anywhere we can pick up a track. And once we pick up where that line cross either way, and the race is kind of on, whether it goes up or down. But the strategy basically is to work low and work high and work as much country as we can in big circles, so that we can cover as much country as possible, as early as possible, so that we can beat the sun and beat the dew and have the weather kind of cooperate with us.
So stay tuned. It's a great day to be out here in the Davis Mountains, a great day to be out mountain lion hunting. I'm Tom Bullock at the Sportsman Environmentalist. Join me now with Jim Darsey as we tour his state-of-the-art recycling facility in Leon County, Texas.
Hi, I'm Jim Darsey, Vice President and General Manager of Nucor Steel Jewett. Welcome to our Texas recycling facility. Our facility has been in Jewett, Texas since 1975 with our Texas 1 melt shop, which had 2 furnaces. In 1981, we added our Texas 2 melt shop. We started up our Texas 3 state-of-the-art melt shop in 2004.
Thirty, 32 minutes. Go through the whole process. Melt the scrap and tap it out, pour it in the ladle. There it goes over to the ladle refine station.
Right now we're getting the first prelim on it to see what the chemistry is coming in. Go from that, we'll make our additions.
Right now you see we got a roll ladle in. It goes through a series of spray chambers that cools the billet, creates a shell.
Okay, in this area of the mill here, we're cutting our billets according to our customer's length.
We take a 6 1/4 billet and shape it into whatever finished product we're running. We're using 18 mil stands, rounds and ovals is the way we shape it. From squares to rounds to ovals for the finished product.
As they produce steel, I get samples from each heat and test them to make sure they conform to standards for yield, tensile, elongation. I'd say we do everything we can to make sure the product we put out is the best we possibly can.
Taking production off the mill, which is quarter by 5 flats. We ship to California, Oregon. I guess you might say it goes everywhere.
Hello, welcome to the H.E. Sproul Ranch. I'm Tony Timmons, along with my wife, Kareth. We own and operate the H.E. Sproul Ranch here in the heart of the Davis Mountains in Fort Davis, Texas. Our elevations here at the headquarters at the Harvard Lodge start at 5,500 feet, and our ranch goes all the way up to almost 7,000 feet. We're the oldest family-owned and operated ranch in the entire county, established in 1886. Single family-owned for 121 years. We run the largest free-range hunting operation in the state of Texas as it pertains to the variety of game that we harvest. We hunt everything from elk, mountain lion, mule deer, whitetail, javelinas, wild hogs, dove, quail, aoudad, antelope, and spring turkey. Everything free-range, nothing behind a high fence. We're proud to say that we don't offer a guaranteed hunt, but our hunts do come with some sort of guarantee, and that is when you show up here at the ranch, the H.E. Sproul, you'll be treated to the best accommodations, the best food, and the best scenery that Texas has to offer. That's what Henry said one time. He said, if life had to end tomorrow, he said, I've rode across many acres of good country, sat on the back of lots of good horses, watched lots of good hounds work this country. He said, it's all been worth it.
Yeah. I'm a blessed man to be, get to do what I do to make a living. I broke into 3 different countries in my life. I broke into Alaska, and I broke into New Mexico, and said, you can't make it in New Mexico. Said, you can't do nothing. I just went shooting and cutting wood and catching coyotes and killing bobcats. And then in the late 70s, middle 70s, them bobcat hides, some of them were $400 a piece. I caught $20,000 worth of furs there in 4 years.
Wow. That's bobcats?
Yeah, bobcats and coyotes. Them coyote hides was bringing $70, $80 a piece.
We'll be back with you later on And I assure you that one of these trips, we are going to catch that elusive mountain lion. Until then, we're going to enjoy the ride. Recycling has long been viewed as a way to conserve natural resources, reduce landfill costs, and keep litter off the sides of our roads and out of our hunting and fishing areas. But recycling is now also becoming known for its immense energy benefits. That's because products that we recycle have invested energy that we harvest during the recycling process. Think about it this way. When a glass bottle is first manufactured from virgin resources, a significant amount of energy is invested in the product, from mining and transporting to the heating during the manufacturing process. When we recycle glass, we harvest all that invested energy to turn it into the next product. The result is that recycling saves a significant amount of energy. Recycling one glass container saves enough energy to light a 100-watt bulb for 4 hours. The same is true for other materials, such as the most recycled product in the world, steel. Electric arc furnaces, like the ones pioneered by Nucor Corporation, allow us to take scrap steel that would otherwise be sitting on the sides of the roads or in landfills and to turn that scrap into new products. Now, let's join Jim Darsey at Nucor Steel, Jewett, Texas, as he tells us about the incredible energy benefits of the electric arc furnace.
I'm standing in front of our electric arc furnace here at our recycling plant in Jewett. This is the furnace where we harvest the invested energy that exists in this scrap. Manufacturing recycled products requires on average 17 times less energy than manufacturing the same products from virgin materials. Just like energy drawn from wind or from the water behind a dam, recyclable materials contain a vast amount of energy that is available to be harvested. By harvesting the invested energy in the scrap that we recycle, we're able to reduce our energy demand and increase the reliability of the grid in Texas. By reducing the amount of energy used by industry, recycling reduces greenhouse gas emissions and helps prevent global climate change.
We're going to catch that old mountain lion today. We got these dogs ready to go. We got a little bit of a scent yesterday. Had some rain last night, and we feel like the tracks will be fresh this morning. And we're going to go out there and see if we can't round one up. All right, we're on day 3. Here we are. Henry's got us trapped up. Got a mountain lion on the top of the tree. The dog's working perfect. All right, Tony's up in the tree with him now. This is a real cowboy right here. Tony Timmons up there trying to want to see the dogs work, so he's going to knock him out of the tree and let the dogs work him a little bit. I'd say this is just about halfway exciting, guys. What do you think? There he comes. I'd say let's go ahead and shoot him. Dog's up in the tree with him. Oh, dog's out of the tree. You sure don't want to just go ahead and kill him now?
There you go. Watch him get it.
Cock another one. Don't shoot him. Cock, get him, get him. Don't shoot him.
Good job, boys. That was a hell of a hunt. I don't know what was more exciting, riding up along that ridge or seeing Tony climbing that tree. I gotta tell you, these boys at Sproul Ranch did a hell of a job. Old Tony climbed up in the tree with us. That's the damnedest thing I've ever seen. Henry working these dogs. Henry promised us he was gonna put us on one, and he sure did. We're guessing that mountain lion, big old Tom's probably gonna weigh in about 120. Just a really nice, big, mature tomcat, and it was a wonderful hunt. I can't thank Jim Darsey enough. I tell you, these guys out here in Texas know how to do it.
Tom made an outstanding shot, one line on the ground.
Day 3 of the hunt, we've been trailing around. Chances are you never know once you catch these things what's what, but we struck a pretty decent track on day 1. It faded out because of the sun, and then the second day we hit another track, trailed it for a mile and a half, and then once that dew melts off, it gets hard for those dogs to trail, and so chances are we lost that track again.
Out in the morning, getting ready to ride up a ridge, and out in the morning we heard the dogs get the scent, and quick as we saw the dogs, Tony pointed it out, and we saw the cat get in the tree. They wanted to see the dogs work a little bit, so Tony climbed in there, right in there with the mountain lion, and knocked the line out and watched it work a little bit, got it up in another tree, and that's when we were able to get a good shot at it. It really, these guys make it easy on you. All you got to do is hang on to that saddle.
There's a good chance we're going to go up there and find either a dead deer or javelina or a hog or something dead up on the side of the mountain somewhere. And these old lions will, once they make a kill, they'll sit on that piece of meat for maybe 2, perhaps 3 days, especially as the weather's cool and that meat doesn't spoil. They'll sit there and come back down that mountain and stay within listing range of wherever they kill that, make that kill, and then come back down. And chances are that's what this lion's done. He's probably full of meat. We'll gut him out in a minute, take a look. But once those dogs hit a lion that's full of meat, he's like you and I. He don't want to go very far, very fast. And he took to a tree pretty quick. And of course, these dogs made short work of him. Like we like to say here, just another successful hunt here at the Sproul Ranch. I'd like to thank everybody for coming.
There you go. Woo-hoo! Watch them get it.
Thank you again for joining us here in the Davis Mountains of West Texas, here at the Sproul Ranch for a wonderful and exciting mountain lion hunt. We had a great time on horseback with an exciting hunt. Free range hunting. Don't confuse this with high fence hunting. I've been scolded about that. There's no fences on this ranch. This is free range hunting. We had a great time. The elusive mountain lion, successful hunt, working with two of the greatest mountain lion hunters in Texas, and one legend and one growing legend. Great conversation today and over the last 3 days with Jim Darsey, the state's largest recycler. We learned a lot from him about the importance of environmental protection and protection of these beautiful natural resources. Just an outstanding free range hunt. So thanks again. This is Tom Mullican, Sportsman Environmentalist, saying stay tuned for another great adventure. Well, we're finished with a great hunt, heading back to the ranch. Big old tomcat. Henry and Tony lived up to their reputation as the greatest mountain lion hunters in all of Texas.